Hello there, and welcome to the Swedenborgian online community. I'm Reverend Wilma Wake, and I'd like you to meet my friend Daisy. Daisy is a Pomeranian, and she is part of our congregation here today, July 13th, 2014. Daisy really has a lot to say. She's quite distressed that I left her this past week, as well as leaving her Maltese friend, Coconut, and the kitty, Jasmine, because I went to convention. And I had a great time at convention, but Daisy did not have a great time being home alone, so she just wants to be here and give you the doggy's perspective about convention and how they are not pleased when their humans leave in order to attend convention. But I had a wonderful time. It was a great convention. We were in St. Louis, Missouri, and we had a lot of music and a lot of wonderful talks. Chris Leitner and I gave a slide presentation about our online community, which we'll be posting online for you to read later. But for now, I would like to invite you to, if you wish, open a Bible and light a candle as we begin our worship today. And I'm going to start with a reading from the Bible from Matthew 21:18 through 22. But I'm going to stop for just a moment so that you can meet Jasmine, who just wandered by. This is Jasmine the cat. Jasmine is pretty much in charge of the whole family, and she's still a little angry at me because I was away at convention last week. And she wants you to know what it's like for the cats when the humans go to convention. That's her word on the subject. You may be able to tell we are on my front porch, and I hope that the lighting is working okay for you here. So, back to Matthew 21. Early in the morning, as he was on his way to the city, he was hungry. Seeing a fig tree by the road, he went up to it, but found nothing on it except leaves. Then he said to it, "May you never bear fruit again." Immediately, the tree withered. When the disciples saw this, they were amazed. "How did the fig tree wither so quickly?" they asked. Jesus replied, "I tell you the truth. If you have faith and do not doubt, not only can you do what was done to the fig tree, but also you can say to this mountain, 'Go, throw yourself into the sea,' and it will be done. If you believe, you will receive whatever you ask for in prayer." And now a reading from Swedenborg, from the Arcana, Heavenly Secrets. A leaf signifies truth, which is evident from many passages in the Word, where one is compared to a tree, or is called a tree, and where fruits signify the good of charity, and a leaf the truth therefrom. And he quotes from Ezekiel, where he says, "Here tree denotes the man of the church in whom is the kingdom of the Lord, its fruit the good of love and of charity, its leaf the truths therefrom, which serve for the instruction of the human race and for their regeneration, for which reason the leaf is said to be medicine." Our topic for today is about poetry as prayer. We've been exploring the theme of prayer for a while, and this summer we're particularly looking at the arts as ways that can express worship and prayer. And I'd like to share with you a bit about Edwin Markham. He was a poet who lived from 1852 to 1940. He was born in Oregon as the youngest of 10 children. His parents separated a few years later, and his mother raised him on a farm. As he got older, he studied literature, and he attended San Jose Normal School and taught for several years, became superintendent of schools. He began writing poetry around 1872, and he had sold a poem by 1880. He wrote for Harper's, Century, Scribner's. At the end of 1898, he wrote The Man with the Hoe. This poem was based on a painting from 1862, and it was published right away, and it received a great deal of publicity. It supported the labor movement, and working conditions, and it started Markham's reputation as a social reformer and as a champion of the working class. If you would like to go online, you will see the poem, and we also have a video of the poem being read. Now, Markham was raised Methodist. That is Coconut, who is chasing after a truck on the road. One of the disadvantages of doing this on my porch. However, I'm sure that Coconut will be back to join us momentarily. So I was saying that Markham was raised a Methodist. Around 1876, he ran into Thomas Lake Harris, who considered himself a Swedenborgian, and perhaps Markham heard about Swedenborg from him. He began to write. He wrote a poem about Swedenborg, and he had very much of a Swedenborgian perspective in his work. Here's a quotation from New Church Life of something he said when he was addressing one of our churches. He said that Swedenborg made a revelation of truth, and he characterized it as the eye of the 18th century. And he said he's been studying Swedenborg's writing for 40 years. And when he spoke to the Boston, Brookline, and Cambridge Society, he said if Swedenborg had never expressed another idea than his immortal saying, all religion has relation to life, and the life of religion is to do good, he would have given the world enough to inspire 100 seers. I never speak his name without emotion. He lifted me out of a quagmire of theology. He lifted me up to see the stars. And that's what Markham had to say about Swedenborg. So what I encourage you to take away from our worship today is the idea of prayer as something that can be expressed in a great many ways. And some people express prayer through poetry, either poetry that somebody else has written and that they read and are inspired by, or writing their own poetry. Let your heart open to all the ways that you can experience God and express God, and allow your heart to feel the presence of the Lord in whatever way is right for you, knowing that the Lord is expressed in all of nature and is expressed through the arts. Let us pray. Dear Lord, please help us to recognize that you come to us in so many ways, in so many places. Help us open our hearts to the inflow of your love, and help us to make your love a part of our very being and to share it with those around us. Amen. And now I'm going to blow out the candle, and I'm going to close the Bible. And thank you for joining us today. I would like to encourage you to visit us sometime at www.swedenborgiancommunity.org, and you'll find this service in written form and also with various graphics. And we would love to have you visit us and explore our website and learn more about Swedenborg and the Swedenborgian Church. Well, thank you for joining us today. and many blessings to you on your spiritual journey. Take care.